I'd rather have my guests be their true selves.
This is not my true self. I came in here in flip-flops and granny panties, and I'm still wearing them.
Dancers usually look like homeless people. It's hot homeless. It's like the Kanye West models.
Yeah, I actually have come out of a couple of rehearsals like hellish, and someone was like, I love your style.
Right?
Because we're cooler than everybody.
I'm dating this gorgeous piano player, and I put him in my cut-off sweats. You know, like back in the day when everyone... Do people still do that?
I just did it like a week ago, and I was like, this is where I belong.
You guys, a half sock with cut-off sweats is where it's at.
Just below the knee, but hike one up. And then...
I feel like I dance better.
Yeah. It's true.
You're nervous?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
please. I'm such a cheese ball. You're going to look like a professor next to me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the House of Royale. I am your host, Rochelle. It's not Rachel. Thank you. I want everyone to go to patreon.com/House of Royale, give us 10 grand, and I'm going to give Valerie 5. Because that's how we run shit at the House of Royale.
Sounds good.
Okay. You guys, we're performers and entertainers, so just like we need funding. We have like huge projects coming, and so just give us all your money. We love you so much, and we'll see you in a second. Bye. And we're back. You guys, today, there are no words. Like, I have to do the biggest intro for this woman. Like most artists in LA, she wears 10,000 different hats. She is a choreographer, dancer, performer, artistic, creative director, costume designer, set designer, like visuals, everything under the sun. And she has worked with the top 1% artists of our generation. And it's just such a huge deal. And I want everyone to understand the depth and the importance of people like Valerie, who are bringing some of the most prolific, historically iconic, legendary shows to the stages of not only America, but all over the world. So, oh my God. I'm gonna cry. I present to you guys the beautiful Valeree Young. Woo!
Yes. That was quite the intro.
Not me just crying. The first minute of this interview. I'm probably gonna cry the whole time, you guys. So, hello, Valerie.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
I feel like the last time I saw you, you and Jason were doing another show with a gorgeous woman. The lights.
When the lights go out.
Yes.
Yes.
When the lights go out.
Yep.
I was crying during that show, the whole show. And then when I saw you, I was like, couldn't even cry because I don't know. You guys just mean so much to me. It's so deep in my soul. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. And I just want the people to understand the work that you guys have done throughout the years.
We're actually bringing When the Lights Go Back.
Amazing.
Really soon, in a couple months here.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, we're going to do a little like 2-minute teaser on that show, and we'll put the link so you guys can buy tickets for that. So that's a gorgeous show.
Tis.
Yes. Okay. Valerie, really quickly, I need the origin story. Can you start from the beginning? Because I think most people are going to assume that you grew up in a dance studio, which is not the case.
No.
Okay.
Beginning
yes.
of like my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was born. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I started off as a gymnast.
Yes.
My whole life, I was a gymnast. I went before school, after school, blah, 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 like, you know, crazy training schedule. And I did that till I was about 16. I was a level 10, and finally I was like, this is hell. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to continue doing this for the rest of my college career that I didn't have. That's what I was shooting for. Anyway, I quit gymnastics, and my mom was like, listen, you can't do nothing after school, so you need to dance. And so I joined a dance team, and the rest is history, I guess.
Okay, really quickly. It's the Olympics.
Yes.
I turned on Netflix and I was like, I need to just watch the Simone Biles thing. And I got through the first episode and I was like, I can't deal.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So when you see these gymnasts, I mean, you know, like the grueling, I mean, she like lost her mind because it's so, she's like, I had to quit. Like, can you like describe the hours and like the amount of work? And that probably also got you ready to be the type of dancer you are.
Yeah, totally. I think in the 4th grade is when I started going to gymnastics before school and after school. So I was maybe like 10 or 12. And I went 2 hours before school, go to school.
Wow.
I would go 3 hours after school, 3 or 4 hours, come home, sleep, do it again till forever, every single day. Wow. Even when I was in high school, I had to like make up a period in the morning because I would miss my first period so I could go to gymnastics. It's just so hard. And when you miss like a day or a week, you like feel like you fall behind. And this was back like before that mental health was like a thing. Also, like nobody was really as aware of it as they are now. Me, myself, like had this whole movement been happening already, I might have stuck with gymnastics.
Right.
Because the reason why I had to give it up, because it was so mental.
Yeah.
Like I was pissed. I was yelling at my coaches. I was falling. I was just, I just wasn't myself. I couldn't hit anything. And I was like, fuck this. Threw the chalk over, stormed out, never went back. Been doing it my whole life.
Yeah.
But also, like you said, I think that's the reason why I was able to survive in LA.
Right.
Auditions, dancing. I started with Rich and Tone, and if anybody has ever met Rich and Tone, the only words they used to call you back in the day were motherfucker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was brutal. But I would live and die for them and like to work for them, you know? So,
you know what's so crazy? I sent you some of Brooke Lipton's stuff. I interviewed her, and she was like telling me the first time she booked Britney, and she also was dancing for, I'll bleep this out, but and so she books the job and then she goes to the studio and she's like, tells the dancers, he's like, okay, well, are you going to be able to be at the next rehearsal? Or like what? No one was excited for her. It was just about like, you need to be here on time and you need to shut the fuck up. And she really like described what it was like. Yeah. Gymnastics is the same thing. It's your weight. It's how like people are viewing you, all of that shit. And women in general, we're so like mentally fucked up from being judged on our appearance and our body. Is it still like that in the dance world today?
I mean, nobody is saying it out loud anymore.
Right.
But I think it's still the same.
For sure.
I think the same type of people are still getting the same type of gigs. There's been a little bit of movement, but what I experienced on M is that the dancers, especially with the whole non-binary LGBTQ wave that's of acceptance that's been rolling through this planet, they're not trying to be so traditional as to what it is you think I should be, and they really don't care. And that is making them even more special and more creative because they're not so hung up on like industry standards or this, that, and the other.
Right.
And that was really nice to see.
Yes. Let's get into the whole Madonna conversation.
Oh, God.
There are so many people that probably have...
altar?
Yes. I know all of you out there that have Madonna altars that are on your knees like crying watching this interview right now. You have been with Madonna for a long time, since
2008. What am I talking about?
Oh, 2008.
Yes.
Okay, 2008, 4 tours. I want the people to really understand what it takes from day one building a show and how to put a show together. You guys just did the Celebration tour.
We did.
Where do we begin with that? Where do you want to start?
I think an appropriate place to start when in consideration of dancers and what it takes is at auditions.
Okay, let's get into it.
First of all, let's talk about auditions. Like my audition when I booked was at Alley Cat Studios, which is now closed. And if you know it, your heart's broken like mine. It was at Alley Cat. It was for Rich and Tone. And the first day, I think there was 1,200 people.
Wow.
And it was all day. You go, they teach like a group of 50 dancers at a time. You learn it, you leave. 50 more dancers come. And then you audition 20 at a time, then 10 at a time, then 5, then they cut. So the first day we were there for 12 hours for sure. And I think they cut it down to about 40. And then we come the next day, the 40 people, we go all day again. And the candy shop had just come out. And when I tell you, Em walks in like way at the end of the last day of auditions. She walks in and she's Madonna and she sits all quiet and she asks you your astrological sign and you tell her. And then a cameraman comes out and she's like, freestyle to my new song. For 2 hours, we repeated Candy Shop for a camera, just cypher, dying, killing, freestyling. It was crazy. It was the longest, most intense audition of my life. Rich and Tone are yelling. They're hyping us up. There's hypno out there. Everybody's doing all kinds of techniques. There's Indian dancing, tap dancing, break dancing, everything. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's really intimidating. So we do that, and then they're like, we'll call you. But then they auditioned New York, and then they auditioned Paris.
Oh, my God.
And then a month later, they're like, yay, we want you. And
Wait, what? Okay, so Valerie's in the studio and they call you up to freestyle. What are you doing? Are you doing like tricks or?
I mean, I could tumble, so I did a lot of tricks. I don't know what I did. It was like an out-of-body experience. I was not a freestyler, never comfortable freestyling, but it was like the gig of a fucking lifetime. Mm-hmm. So I did everything I possibly could. I also had short hair at the time, and I think that kind of set me apart.
Yeah.
But I could tumble. That was a big plus. That gymnastics just like...
You guys, I'll tell you what Valerie did. She put her leg behind her head, did a tilt, lay out, some turns. Aerial, definitely. Walk over front, walk over back. I mean, this bitch just slays the fuck down. I already know. When I saw you and the lights go out, it's just you're just incredible. And as a person that like, my mom owned 3 dance studios. Like, I was born into the dance studio. So it trips me out to see a gymnast go from gym to the way that you dance is just, like, incredible. It shows you are an insane dancer. Aww. Okay, moving on. Okay, so you get the call.
I get the call. I was booked as the swing, actually. Okay. So I didn't have a place.
Okay.
In the promo tour, Madonna, she kissed me on stage at the Olympia in Paris on my second gig. Like, ate my face. And then Sophia Boutella came back because she couldn't do the promo. So I was like in the front during the 3 gigs. I was in the front. And then Sophia came back and Em was like, you can be the swing.
To Sophia?
No, to me.
Oh.
Sophia's her favorite. So she made out with me. She put me in the back. But I got booked on the tour.
Okay. Jesus.
I mean, it's true. And then you start rehearsals, right?
Right.
And Madonna rehearsals, like most tour rehearsals, you work at a studio for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And then you get the stage and you do some dress rehearsals, then you go on stage. No, when you walk into Madonna, there is the entire mock stage built in a warehouse and another one in another warehouse.
Oh.
She will not work. She won't learn in anything other than the actual square footage that she will be dancing in because she wants to know how she's going to feel, how it's going to feel, how it's going to look, how tired she's going to be. So you walk in and it's like this huge, massive stage. And I'll never forget thinking, I was like, oops, like, how did I end up here? Like, oh shit. Like, now I got to fucking dance for Madonna. Like, shit. Okay, let's get it together.
Oh my God.
And there's always more than one choreographer present at a time. So whoever is teaching, we start from the beginning, song number 1, and we go through the show. You don't move on to 2 until she has learned and perfected song number 1, right?
Wow.
You do not skip. We start from the beginning and we go all the way through the end.
Wow.
So if, say, Rich and Tone are choreographing the first number, that we're learning in this room while the other dancers and the other choreographers are prepping in the other stage. And there's usually a third just small dance studio for another. So there's constantly people. She will not allow anybody ever to not work while they're being paid. You know, she's like, if you're being paid, you need to be here on site working. And
wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the choreographers for the first one?
Yes. Rich and Tone did a lot of numbers. Akamon, AJ, he did a couple. We had Jason Extravaganza and Brahim. He's going to kill me. But they did Vogue, the Tectonic Vogue.
Cool.
With the bobs and the nude. That was fun. Nick and RJ did some. We had some gypsies, some Romani gypsies out there that did some choreography for us.
Wow.
She always brings like crazy cultures in, and she brings like the most authentic person to teach you like their song and dance and stuff like that.
Incredible.
But, yeah.
And also your husband, Jason, was in a tour with you, with Madonna. Which one?
Jason and I actually met on Madonna.
Oh.
The first time I saw him was at the audition. He was late. He was late to every rehearsal. And I was just like, he's a dance captain also. He was very strong.
Oh, wow.
He's an incredible dancer, very well-rounded, and he was always M's partner.
Okay.
He's a really trained partner. So he was in charge, and I was like this very young, very mouthy
Oh.
swing that I would just run my mouth a lot. And Jason and I did not get along at all.
Oh.
For all of rehearsals. Like,
Interesting.
like screaming matches. Like actually hating each other.
Oh my God.
And but I just knew everything. I'm a know-it-all. Like, I'm a total dancer. Like, yes. I might be the newest one here, but I'm the smartest one.
Right.
And I know what it is, and I know what it isn't. And when motherfuckers don't do it right, like, I couldn't shut up. I just couldn't shut up.
You guys, it's true.
It's hard.
Amazing.
To know everything.
Right.
No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
No,
no,
it
I
sucks
just
to
really
be...
have always loved to be perfect, and I've always loved to master things. And
Yeah.
I had to kind of learn my place.
Yes.
So.
Well, which is why you're in this place now.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's talk about from tour 1 to the celebration tour. What was that journey? How did you get to this place where now you pretty much are Madonna? You're her double. You are her. You're her shadow.
Well, so I started as the swing, and as the swing, you have to learn everything that everybody does. And every once in a while, somebody would be hurt, and I would have to go in. And during rehearsals, I actually got to replace a couple girls in a number because she preferred me to them. And I think I just put my nose down, and I just was as excellent as I could possibly be every single day. I never was late. I never missed anything. I've never been sick. I've never missed a show.
Wow.
I've never given an excuse. And I think that, yeah, I did the best that I could every single day, every time I was there. And even though I was never her favorite, she never invited me to like extra parties. Some of the dancers get invited to her home. She's not like, I'm not one of her close friends, but I think just the fact that I have an extremely good attention to detail and I give a shit, I care a lot, it shows and it's undeniable. And she ended up hiring me to be the stand-in on Rebel Heart, kind of out of default. Like there was nobody else to do it. And she, like nobody could ever say that I didn't do my job or know what was going on all the time. And I've just continued to attempt to know everything. Literally, that's what it is.
That's incredible. I mean, for those of us with ADHD who can't memorize choreography to save our motherfucking lives, it's insane. You have to be a brain. You have to be able to be a mathematician and just know everything. And that is just, I mean, praise bless, honey. Praise bless. Okay, so the celebration tour, when did you get the call for that? And like, what was the whole process of like that coming together?
I actually didn't get called for a celebration tour. I called her.
Oh.
Yeah, she hadn't called me, and all my friends were like, M's going on tour. And I was like, listen. So I called her manager, and I said, I'm available.
Yes.
And they were like, come on down. And so I go to the workshop, start rehearsals. At first, I was only booked to be purely stand-in, which is just learn the choreography from the choreographer who they have hired. They teach me, I teach M, period. That's it. But when I got there, I was the only person in a leadership role that had ever toured with M before. We had a new director. We had new supervising choreographers.
Wow.
They had never been in that environment with her in a rehearsal setting where she expects insane amount of preparation. Like everything has to be perfect. There has to be lyric sheets for every single song with the time code of the amount of eights, and you have to get that updated all the time because they're always working on the music. There has to be a person to run the iPad with the lyric sheets, because if, God forbid, she waits more than 15 seconds of lead-in for music, you know, then we're wasting time. We have to have the mock costumes. We have to have the crew members know what to do with the costumes before she gets there. Everything has to be perfect. But nobody knew that except me.
Oh my God.
So even though I wasn't hired to do it, I was doing it. And I was just managing the room, because when she walks in, I'm the one standing next to her on the stage. So I'm staring down the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with every department. And if I don't have an answer for her, I'm the one that's going to get shit on. So I ended up just doing it because it needed to be done, and helping people learn and teaching them what was expected during that time. And then I got kind of kicked up to co-supervising choreographer as well.
Wow.
Because shit needed to get done, and I wasn't going to let the room like
fall
I
apart.
don't want her to be disappointed, because it's not fun. It's not fun when you disappoint your boss. It just
wow.
sucks.
How long did rehearsals go for?
Oh Lord, I think we started in March, and we rehearsed for about 3 months. Well, workshop is in February, which is where they audition dancers for a whole week. It's now we've moved. The audition process is now a week long. And we bring people from all over the world. We teach them all kinds of choreography, and at the end they do a freestyle, and about half of them get the gig.
But they pay for their flights.
Oh, no. We bring everybody out.
Oh.
It's a lot smaller of a group now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think about 30 of them were there, and we booked about 19 or 20, something like that. So workshops were in February. That was about a week. Then we came back in March, April, May, I think. And we rehearsed for 3 months before she got sick, unfortunately. And so we were pretty close to opening at that point, but we all took a 6-week break so Em could survive. And she was in the ICU. She was in a coma. It was really crazy.
Jesus.
And she almost died, and she came back 6 weeks later, of course, because that's what she does, because she's a fucking alien. She's not a human. If you think she's a human, you're wrong. She's like not of this planet. So we came back, and then we rehearsed for about 2 more months. So it was about 5 months of rehearsal for this one. It was a long time.
And is it true? I think I saw something on YouTube or I don't know, Instagram. In the studio, you guys are using essential oils and steam. And what is that all about?
She doesn't like dry air.
Okay.
And she loves eucalyptus. So
amazing.
She has humidifiers everywhere.
Wow.
And you know when she's about to show up, because all of her assistants will just start pouring that eucalyptus.
Wow.
You can breathe.
So does it make it easier for you guys, or is it's more difficult?
It's mostly just like you're inundated with eucalyptus smell.
Yeah.
So you kind of like get put off of eucalyptus for the rest of your life, because you associate it with like stressful situations.
Oh
like you
God.
Smell the eucalyptus and you're like, oh shit, she's going to be here
like
soon.
Triggered.
Like I gotta like get my shit together.
You have PTSD with essential oils.
Yeah,
I feel like you're, well, for me, I have zero stamina. Shout out to everyone who is out of shape and can't breathe. Like, you guys are literally training for a triathlon. It's nonstop. Okay, so let's say it's a Monday. What time do you start? What time do you get out of there? How do you recover from injuries?
Well, this is really the dancers we're talking about now, because I don't have to train as much as them, but we will all show up usually about maybe noon, 11, 12, 1 p.m., something like that. And we'll show up 1 o'clock, but Em won't show up until 8, because she does band rehearsals first. So we will work, the dancers will work creating, which is exhausting to create, because you have to be full out. You learn 100 different versions. They'll work for 8 hours. Or work for 4 to 6 hours, have lunch, a few more hours, and then Em will come, and then she will want to do a full rehearsal. So then you're already exhausted, but then the boss shows up, and you have to teach her, which means you have to do it a million times. And we would leave usually about 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Wow.
Every day, no matter what.
And okay, injuries. I want the audience to really understand. I mean, people are straining their hamstrings, their ankles, their backs, neck. Like, you guys have people doing contortion and tumbling and... Do you guys have a physical therapist on set or in the studio, or what's happening with that?
Yeah. Em, as much as she asks you to work hard, she'll take care of you. And we always have a PT on there every single day, all day. And she never doesn't have anybody on there.
Yeah.
She's dry needling, she's massaging, taping. We have, sprained ankles, pulled muscles, getting hit by something because it's like you're rehearsing. Yeah. Right. But unless you're like really injured, you're not missing rehearsal.
Right.
You're not allowed to miss it. You can't miss a show. You can't miss rehearsal, especially if you're like really an integral part of a number. Like, she's not going to let you miss.
And you can see, if you guys really look at all the photos of Em on stage, she's taped up too.
Oh, yeah.
So she's getting injured too.
We're all suffering. Let's just be clear.
Yes.
Everybody is in pain and tired and suffering, but glad to be there.
Right.
Like, we're all like near death.
And also the adrenaline, the rush that you get. What crowd was the best? Like, what country is the craziest? Oh
God, hold on, let me think.
The most unhinged.
That's a hard one. Italy is incredible because Italians love Madonna. They will die for her.
Love.
Copenhagen was just like, you could hear a pin drop. They just were very polite. They just sit and watch and just like a little golf club. I'll never forget Copenhagen. Mexico, obviously, that's party.
Yes.
Like, come on. Anywhere in South America, they will die for her. And then there was Rio, of course, and there was just 2 million people, so no biggie.
Oh my God, that gives me chills. The lights, like, I don't know, like, what is the intro of the show? I didn't get to see it. Damn it.
I know, I can't believe it.
Because you guys, I'm such a pussy. I should have asked. I should have like hit you up. I know, I'm so dumb.
Everybody asks. Don't feel bad for asking.
I'm working on being more interactive with humans.
You're not.
Okay, so the beginning, the intro of the show.
So our last show of the whole tour, the last stop was Rio, and it was a free concert on the beach.
Oh, shit.
And it was because we couldn't do South America because of the way the show is designed. It just wouldn't travel well there. It didn't make sense monetarily. So she decided to kick in a free show in Rio at the end. So on the Copacabana, they set up our stage, and the ocean is like right there, and the Copacabana's here, and I don't know how far it was. We need to get the statistics on this, but there was at least 6 different jumbotrons. We'll have to give them. We'll have to fill in this episode with a link of the pictures. It is insane.
Yes.
So there were 2 million people at that show on the beach. It was crazy. And what's cool about this show, Em always opens with a big spectacle and a big video. But this time it just opened with her alone on the stage. And it was a story of her life, so she kind of wanted to start it alone and end it alone. So it just opens with Nothing Really Matters. And, oh no, I'm so sorry. I forgot about Bob. How can I forget Bob? The first thing that happens is Bob the drag queen, who is our incredible, amazing host that we love.
Yes, Bob. Yes. Okay.
Bob was our hostess with the mostest, and Bob would come out in this very iconic Madonna look, the Marie Antoinette look with the big wig and the lips, and he does a big intro introducing her and her life. He sings. She comes up, there's smoke, and she just very calmly, the turntable brings her to the front of the stage, and it's just like the most noise you've ever heard in your life. Just like, it's so much fun. It's so cool.
It's incredible. I mean, okay, and then as a dancer, I mean, that just gives you guys a rush, right? Do you get nervous? Do people get nervous before the show?
I think you get nervous for the first few shows. But the reason why she rehearses so much is so that we don't have to think.
Yeah.
Like when you've been doing it for 3 months already, you can be as nervous as you possibly can, but you're not going to forget. Or you might make a little mistake, but it's just fun. It's just so incredible.
I can't even imagine. Okay, now wait. There's rumors that there's a movie being produced. Is this true? And are you going to be in it?
Yes, it's true.
Ooh.
It's her biopic. It got put on hold so she could go on tour, I believe. I'm not really involved in it. No, I will not be in it.
Why?
Well, number one, she hasn't asked me.
Oh.
Number two, that would mean being on set with M. If you have ever met anybody with no patience, just multiply it times just infinity. And, ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to help her and be out there.
Right.
But that's going to be a tough endeavor for anybody who does it because she loves perfection and she hates to wait. But if anybody who's been on set, all you do is wait.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Damn. Okay, wait.
Toughie.
Who?
Oh, I need to learn her name. We need to figure it out.
Oh my God. Who is playing Madonna?
Give me my phone. I'll tell you right now.
Yes.
Oh my God, she's beautiful. Julia, I think her name is. Oh.
You guys, in the meantime, I need you guys to go to 8and1creative.com.
Yes.
8and1creative.com. Buy a shirt, buy a hat, hire Valeree and Jason for choreography. They are insane. They've done 3 of my music videos and just... Okay, so what's her name?
It's Julia Garner, and she's from Ozark.
Yes!
The curly blonde. She's so beautiful.
Oh my God.
And she's so sweet. I met her a couple times. She came to a couple shows. Oh, she's just beautiful.
Yes.
So that's who was doing it before, and so I hope it happens. I really hope it happens.
Incredible. So wait, are we gonna get a documentary too? Come on, please.
I don't know. And if I did, I couldn't say.
Okay, and then what about footage of the celebration tour? Like, for people like me who did not get to see the show live, how can I watch the full show?
Well, we filmed it. Jonas Ackerland, he's an incredible director and a really good friend of hers. He filmed it. He brought his whole crew out in Mexico City. We filmed for about 3 nights. So there will be a cut of the show available somewhere. Usually it's on Epics.
Yeah.
You can watch the show, and there'll be some footage.
Okay.
I mean, they were filming the whole time, BTS, but I'm not sure if there's any plans to do anything besides just the show and release it like that. But
Right.
And I love watching it live, but go and watch any of her tours, like the proper recording of it on Epics. It's cinematic. Like, she edits it. She doesn't just show you the show. She has edits in it. Some parts are black and white. Some parts there's like layers, filters. Oh, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
So, and if Jonas is doing it, it's going to be incredible as well. It's like a completely different experience to watch it on the big screen. And I love watching them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Thank God.
You're going to have to catch it.
Can we do a shout out to the costume designers? And let's talk about really quickly all of the costumes, you as a blonde, you as Madonna. I mean, to see these photos, and I wish that there were more photos because you guys, just the costumes, you are so gorgeous as a blonde. Anyone that knows Valeree, we're looking at these photos like, oh my God, like so beautiful. Who was doing the costumes?
Yeah, Samuel Ososki. He's one of my best friends. He's gonna kill me for butchering his name. He's one of her tailors, and he like hires a whole team of people to help create the physical costumes.
Wow.
As for designs, we had a bunch of different designers. There was Vetma. I think Gaultier had something to do with it because he always does. We had like an homage to him. I don't know. There's just so many people, but there's so many fun costumes. It's just.
And can we talk about the moment when you're pinned up on the spinning wheel thing and you're wearing the iridescent cat suit? What was that?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Ooh, it's called Bedtime Stories.
Okay.
And it's a very different Madonna song. Actually, Bjork wrote it for her. It was written by Bjork, and it's very odd. It's very Bjork.
Oh my God.
She says like, what is she? Words have no meaning, not even sentences. It's just a very funny song. But what it was is M would lie down on this huge lift that would go really, 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 really high. I say like 25 feet, maybe 30. And you can't see her at that point. So it's filming her from up above, and then AI is putting a background. And so as the lift rises up, there's like a screen that's coming up underneath it. So they're projecting her onto the lift all around it when you can't actually see her up here. So that is a pretty fun number.
How is she strapped onto that thing?
She's not.
Okay.
No.
What?
Yeah, I know. It was actually kind of an issue in the beginning because it goes so high that sometimes legally you're like, she needs a strap. But I think that what it ended up as is if you're not standing, then it's okay to not be strapped on. And you can't go to a certain part of the edge, right? You have to stay safe. You have to keep yourself in. She's just laying there and sitting.
Okay.
She just lays and she sits and that's it. And then what would happen is it would go 25 feet, blah, 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 and then a big frame would fly in, sit down, and she would get locked into the frame and fly away.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
And wait, so you had to do that in her place.
Every day.
Do you have a fear of heights?
No, not at all. I love it.
Not at all.
No, it's the funnest part of my job. Like, actually, every day I would have to show up and do all of her flights and her moves just to make sure everything is like properly working. But it's so fun.
Oh my, you guys, you just have to be a savage to do a job like this. I mean, there are people like me who would be, obviously I'd be crying. And so scared. I would be having panic attacks. Are there dancers? Because not every person is the same. Are there dancers that would have like weird fears or phobias like of being on the stage? Like, did anything scare anybody, or everyone's just so used to it?
I mean, everybody's used to it. There wasn't that much acrobatics involved in this one. We've had sway poles before. That was insane when we had the sway poles in Rebel Heart swaying over the audience. That was pretty insane. And we had a lot of insurance talks with the dancers. That's something nobody even knows about. Like, if they break a rule, insurance is it's like miles and miles of paperwork.
Wow.
But I think everybody we had a couple issues with the lasers. That was a little intense because lasers will burn you or the floor or your costume.
Oh my God.
He's gonna kill me for telling this story, but I have to tell this story.
Okay.
My dearest friend Darrell Bullock, he's one of our incredible dancers. He's been on a bunch of tours. I think we've toured 3 times together. The lasers will, if anytime you cut to a certain part of the song, the laser will go to where it is in the song. And if it's paused, the laser's not gonna move. It's just gonna be holding there.
Okay.
And Darrell was standing in the way of the laser and didn't realize it because we had changed the music and I didn't make an announcement like, hey, look out for the lasers. And he was on fire.
Oh my God.
All of a sudden his pants like caught on fire and he was, oh my God, it was so scary. But the lasers, I think, were kind of a really big issue. It burnt a hole right through all of his stuff. It was crazy. He yelled at me, but I don't think it was my fault, but it's cool.
Oh my God. And this was on stage during a show.
During rehearsal.
During rehearsal.
Yes.
Thank God.
In the show, they move, and they move enough that they won't burn anybody, right? They won't hurt an audience member. They won't hurt anybody. But it was just sitting there, and he got.
Oh my God.
It wasn't funny, but it was kind of funny. And he was yelling at me, and then he left because he was going to go figure it out, make sure it was okay. And me and Em just looked at each other, and she was like, I guess it's just one of those days. She had just screamed at me right prior to that about some other problem. And she just looked at me, and she was like, fuck. Like, anyways, let's keep going. Poor Darrell. He was okay.
You guys, it's high stress. This is high octane shit. Yeah. I mean, it's so much. It's so much. What, you as a dancer, how do you feel about each number? What is your favorite number? Like, what is the most, like the number that stands out to you the most?
I really loved Erotica. It was boxing, but it was like, it was slow. It was sexy, but the dancers were clean. One of our really good friends, Josh, he came out and he helped them with the boxing choreography. Like, he is a boxer, and so he helped give them authentic movement. And it was clean, and it was gorgeous, and I loved it. Who worked on it? Meshnoon worked on that. I don't know if any of you know Meshnoon. And oh, he's gonna kill me. I should have Googled. We'll catch you up in there in a second.
Yeah.
Anyways, Erotica was really beautiful, and Justify My Love was incredible. It's just like Damien Jallet did that, and it's just like a pile of beautiful, gorgeous bodies that are essentially naked. They all had like skims on, and they were like moving like sculptures within each other, and it was like this big mass of bodies that would just morph and fold into each other, and it would swallow M, and it would bring her back out, and she would get lifted. And then at the end of it is a top shot, and they're all in a circle, and they're making like a kaleidoscope with their bodies. Oh, it's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, Justify was really great too.
How many choreographers were a part of this tour? So many.
20 at least.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And how many numbers did you guys do total? And did it change? Was it was the same throughout? Okay.
I believe there were 24 numbers. That was including segues and Bob's numbers.
Okay.
It didn't change once we opened. Not really. We switched out Rain for, we were going to do Frozen, then we did Rain, then we switched out another one, but the choreography was essentially the same. But we did cut a couple of things before we opened. Mm-hmm. There was a really awesome medley that was going to go in there with a bunch of classic songs that we loved that we ended up having to cut. So it's just too long. The challenge of this one is that her catalog is just so extensive.
Yeah.
How do you choose? When you're like, the theme of the show is your life. It's just like, but it's Madonna. Like, there's every time you would hear a song, you're like, damn, I wish that was in there. Damn, I wish that was in there. Damn, like it goes. The catalog is too big.
Wow.
To not disappoint people. Everybody's gonna get disappointed because they didn't hear one of their favorite songs, but there's just too many.
Who came up with the idea to do the runway competition?
I think that the runway came from ballroom, and she wanted to give an ode to the ballroom community because that's how Vogue became a thing. She brought them to the forefront, so she wanted to bring it back because it's a celebration of her life, and she wanted to really pay homage to these people who are essentially like the creators of so many huge trends in pop culture, period. It all starts with the gay community. I'm sorry. So much of it. And not just the gay community, but the ballroom community. And she just wanted to pay homage because that's where Vogue came from.
Now, wait, I have a question because I thought that it was just called voguing. So how does ballroom, because when I think ballroom, I think Derek Huff.
No.
Okay, so explain ballroom.
So we're not talking about ballroom dancing, like Dancing with the Stars. We're talking about balls, which are held, they began, I believe, in New York City. Don't check my facts, but I'm going to give you the rundown as far as I know. A ball, first of all, there are houses, and ballroom houses are usually a collection of people who might not feel accepted by their family, their community, and they're looking for a place where they can be themselves and be accepted, and they create families, essentially. And it's a house, and there's a mother, and there's the children, and you find somebody who really maybe needs some guidance and needs some help and wants to come, and they're brought into this family, this house. And at a ball, it's a gathering of different houses, and they have battles of different categories, right? There's an all-American runway, there's voguing, American voguing, new style. There's all kinds of different styles and different categories. And at this ball, people will walk the ball, which is compete against each other, and there'll be prizes, cash prizes, trophies, all these things. And you can climb in the ballroom scene. It's a huge, huge, huge deal that I was never fully aware of until this tour.
Wow.
And it was really fun to be able to dive into that world.
Okay, so shout out to Pose, Billy Porter.
Yes.
His character, the character name is Preach, or I don't know, something like that. But my next question is, there were so many celebrities that came on to like judge the competition. Who was like the most wild celebrity moment?
Oh God, who was the most wild? I think somebody came on naked. There was a comedian that came on naked. I can't remember. I think he was wearing like a leaf. That was exciting. Santa was there on our show before Christmas, and Jal, shout out to Jal, amazing dancer. She comes up to him, she jumps on him, straddles him, and Santa proceeds to fall face first on the ground. There's an amazing picture of Jaws like spread eagle. Santa's just on top of her, and Emma's just laughing. She's like, hey. That was amazing. Penelope Cruz came, and she dressed up as Frida when we were in Mexico. That was really fun. Ricky Martin was there. That was cool. We've worked with Ricky a lot. He's just as fun as always. Cardi B was there. No, we had a lot of awesome people though. It's fun. And I have to prep them beforehand. Just give them a little instruction. So I got to meet everybody. It was a lot of fun.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I met Ali Wong. That was like my star-studded moment. She's the only one I asked for a photo with her, and Jason happened to be like there at that show, and when I went to like give her the rundown, I was like, "Hi, oh my god, I'm so excited to see you!" And I like go on, and I'm like really hyper, and Jason's like, "What's wrong with you?" It's like, "Are you on drugs?" And I was like, "I drink a Celsius," and he's like, "I can tell." He's like, "You need to chill it out."
Oh my god,
that was embarrassing.
Did you get a photo with Ali?
I did. It's blurry and not great, but
damn it, Jason, we need to fly that in though.
We were in a hurry, but I'll send it.
Okay, good. How long were you on this tour?
Oh God, we were on the tour for 1 year and 3 months, not counting the 6 weeks off we had. It was extra long because we took a break. It was a long one.
Yeah. And you guys, for anyone that has children, like, let me just give you your flowers on being a mommy, your beautiful daughter. There was a post on Facebook, I lost my shit, and you like flew home and she saw you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How did you survive? Like,
it was hell.
Oh my
it was
God.
just hell on earth. The beginning was really bad and really sad and depressing, and she was sad and I was sad. But, you know, kids are resilient, and she understood, and I feel like she grew a lot because she understood that I was coming back, but that I was also going to be gone for a long time. And so now she always asks me, she's like, "Are you coming home?"
Oh.
And sometimes the answer is no, not for a week. And most of the time now it's yes, because I'm home. But yeah, she realized, and Jason held it down. He took care of her the whole time. Like, shout out to dads and my mom, grandmas, grandpas, aunties, uncles. Like, you can't do it without so much support.
That's amazing. And is she dancing now?
She is. She had her first recital. It was to Hey Mickey.
Aww.
And she was on the beat the whole time. She's 4, and we were very hyped that she was on the beat.
Oh my God.
She was giving her little sugar hip twist.
Okay, but wait, are you gonna let her enter this world?
Oh,
or how do you feel about that?
I don't know. She can do whatever she wants to do. Right now, she wants to do soccer.
Okay.
I'm like pushing for indoor sports, but you know, whatever.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, I have to give you your flowers because it's just such hard work and being away from your family. It's like, you're just amazing.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's wrap up this episode. Tell the people what you want them to, give them a message.
Okay.
Okay, because it's a beautiful, glamorous life, you guys, but this life is fucking hard. It's really hard. And so I think for all of the dancers in LA and New York or wherever you are who feel like they might want to throw in the towel, what do you have to say to those dancers?
The week that I booked Madonna, the gig that changed my life, I called my mom and said, I can't do this anymore. I was broke. I was hungry. I had shit in collections. I couldn't pay my bills. And I stuck it out, and I went to one more audition, and it changed my entire life. And all you have to do is continue being excellent, and it will happen, because there's room for everybody. And you are going to be tired and hungry and broke and poor and injured and sad. But if you just keep being great and knowing that you're great and never doubt yourself, it's going to happen. And just keep going.
That's so beautiful.
Because it's possible for anybody.
And congratulations to you and Jason.
Yay.
You guys just bought a house.
Just bought a new house. Yes, we love it.
Which is beautiful. And I want the women to know that you can be an entrepreneur and a boss and a mom and all of the things. And it is possible. And you just have to believe in yourself. And Valeree is just a beautiful example of a woman that like climbed up that mountain, and you are just like winning and just shining and showing the world how amazing you are. And I am so blessed to know you, and I am so inspired by you.
Thank you, buddy. That's so sweet. Thank you.
We love you guys. Do something today that makes you happy. Give yourself a hug, journal. And go watch all of the Madonna tours on Epix and go follow Valeree. And just, if you are a millionaire putting a movie together, like hit up Valeree for choreography. Anyways, we love you guys so much and we'll see you later. Bye.